So for myself now, the first session we're going to run out is obviously bonding to other materials. And it is a question we do get often asked at technical as well to what materials we want to bond to. And the two main ones we do get asked is obviously plastic. So we'll take you to the demo here for you now. Obviously what we've got is plastic, so it'd be a soil pipe or a mushroom vent, anything like that. And then we've also got a lead situation as well. So we do get asked quite a lot about to bond to lead, whether it be a lead soaker, lead flashing, or as you can see on the model here, like a mansard roof detail as well. So first of all, just to go through Cure It itself and what it is actually a polyester-based resin. So what that needs to do is obviously to get a good bond, it needs to soak into the actual substrate as well. So in order for it to get a correct bond, we need to bond into that substrate. Now with the timber USB, it is quite porous, so it will bond, we'll get an adequate bond to that surface. But when we start having plastic and metal, and they are non-porous materials. So non-porous, it doesn't get a good bond to that surface. So there's a little bit of preparation required for that. So obviously going to the pipe work. Now if you ever do come across your pipe or a soil pipe, the preparation is key. So on that actual pipe work, it is quite smooth. So just going to that surface up. Just a little bit of sandpaper and rough it up for that surface to bond to. Now when we're going to bond to any other material, the material we're going to use our Cure It adhesive. So it is just the standard materials that you can purchase, and you will have them already on the site as well. So there's not any specialist materials required to bond to any other material. First of all, we're going to use our bandage as well. So once you've prepped the actual substrate you're going to bond to, we're going to use our 75mm bandage. This is just a reinforcement around and apply the resin to it. So obviously bonding to a pipework, we'll need to make sure we wrap around the pipe, all the way around the diameter of the pipe, and a further 30mm past that pipe as well. So on that upstand, we're just going to turn it. So I've got the full piece around that pipe detail, as you can see. If you cut your pipe work and you might have a little bit of a difference in your timber to your pipe, then we need to make sure that we just bond that up as well. That leaves a little voided area, and what you can get is little bits of resin dripping through that area. And the best way to do that is with your trim adhesive. You just seal up the base of the pipe, just to cover any little voids or any uneven cuts around that pipe. And that allows for that decking to expand as well, and obviously allows that pipe to expand and contract as well on that basis. When we come to our bandage, so to bond that to the actual substrate, we need to apply our Cure It trim adhesive. Now the Cure It trim adhesive is a polyester-based adhesive, and what that does, it sticks and bonds to the substrate, and it allows for expansion and contraction. So it allows the two different materials to move at different rates. So not only will it bond in with the porousness, the resin itself won't bond to that non-porous material, you've also got the added difficulty of the two different materials moving at different rates as well. So we need to make sure we stick and bond to that material and allow for expansion and contraction. So what we'll do with the pipe work is apply our Cure It trim adhesive. Now what I tend to do is apply my first continuous bead close to the top, and I'll show you the reason for that now, and then one just slightly up from the bottom. So it's two full continuous beads, as you can see on the bandage there. So nice, even, full continuous run. Now the one I put close to the top, I'll literally apply that to my pipe work, and then run it in. And that one, when I put it close to the top, what you'll see is it allows the trim adhesive to protrude outside the top of the actual matting. That way then, it sticks and bonds to the substrate, and I can just run my finger around the top and just seal around the top as well on that. Next thing we're going to do is, with our bandage, is we now need to cut a series of squares. So we bonded to the pipework, and then we're just going to cut a series of squares. Now these squares, set the ends in the bandage, roughly about 100mm. Okay, these are then just going to form up from the upstand of the pipe, and they're also going to go onto the decking as well. All the way along, we're going to just cut, depending on the size of the pipe, you will then depend on how many squares you need. And what we want to do is overlap them 20mm as you go. So it all determines how many you need, will determine on the thickness of your pipe. So I'll just cut these in suit so we get them all in place. So it's all the same again, is always key with any part of the Cure It system. Preparation is key as well. So you need to get all your matting cut to size, get all your preparation done, get everything bonded on, just to save time when we come to applying the resin. So once they're all cut to size, I'm now ready to start mixing your resin. When you come to mixing your resin, obviously use your safety glasses and your gloves as well. It's always use your PPE. Make sure that you've got them in hand, especially when you're outside on a windy day. The resin can drift in the wind, so make sure you protect yourself at all times as well. Now the resin, I'm pouring the resin into the bucket, and then following the Cure It guidance depends on how much hardening is required as well. And the bucket helps you with that. What you'll see is there's a volume gauge, and then you've got your hardening dish, and that's based on the temperature and obviously the volume in that bucket as well. So I'm going to actually get the hardener now, and I'm going to a really hot day, so I'm just going to put in 30 milk here. So let's say use your safety dispenser and apply the correct amount of hardener to what amount of resin you've got. Give that a good stir and make sure we mix it up, roughly about 60 seconds on our guidance, so just mix it all and make sure all the additives mix back into the hardener as well. Give it a good mix up. Once you've mixed up, you can then go on with your 3-inch soft roller and start to apply the bandages that you've pre-cut. So what we do recommend at this stage is to get an off-cutter board. And the reason for the off-cutter boarding is that, one, you're not putting resin on the deck that you're going to be walking on, and it just makes wetting out a lot easier. You can slide or it can set and cure underneath. So don't say, just get yourself a board, an off-cutter board, what you will have on the job, and just place these on the decking and we'll just soak them up. First of all, get plenty of resin on your roller, make sure it's dripping, and then just apply an even amount over each square along the way. So just make sure you completely saturate each square and you get plenty of resin coverage on each one. Now the key to wetting out is obviously get plenty of resin on, but you also need to let that soak in. With any of the reinforcement matting, there's an emulsion binder that holds it all together. So what we need to do is make sure we saturate the matting, like so, and then just give it a minute or two to soak in. What I'll do now is, even though I've got my squares wet out, I'm now going to go around the pipe up stand. So even though I've bed it on with my Cure It trim adhesive, I'm now going to put plenty of resin up and around that pipe detail and also onto the base as well, where my matting is going to be going. So soak that up on the area and then go to your little square details. And then what we'll do at this stage is just apply them on, so half on the pipe and half on the deck, making sure we overlap as we go. And just get these on as soon as you can. Once you've wet them out, just pop these on. And personally, I just tend to leave them for a minute or two and let them soak in, let them break the binder down. Then all your shaping and forming will make life a lot easier for yourselves along the way. So just work yourself around, overlapping 20 mil until you complete the full pipe detail, like so. So I'll leave that for the time being, and I'll let that soak in, and then I'll take you over now to bonding to the lead or metal or whatever. Maybe. And it is quite often thing we do get, especially in mansard roof detail, when you've got your roof overhanging onto your lead apron flashing, then we'll apply that. And this is done in exactly the same way using the Cure It trim adhesive. Same again, we've got two different materials, one a non-porous, and then we've got the actual flexible GRP surface as well. So we need to make sure we bond to that with a flexible adhesive, and that's what the trim adhesive is there for. So we'll apply 2 beads onto the lead. Oh, sorry, I'll get my bandage cut to size. So on a roof, it's easy on this side of the roof here, but if it's a larger roof, and as you've seen me before putting trim adhesive to the bandage, with it being a longer roof, it's a lot easier to just apply this to the lead. Do a full continuous bead to that lead, as you can see, and just do that in 2 again. So we want to put 2 continuous beads. Now your lead should be fixed down. A more standard lead will be fixed with either copper nails, stainless steel nails, or you can use standard galvanized. As long as it's non-corrosive nails, fix that down, and then we can apply the bandage to that surface. So the area you want to cover, stick the bandage to it, and at this stage, I always just powder roll over that surface. That way then, you make sure all that trim adhesive is bedded into the actual matting, and we gain a good bond to that surface. And you can leave that to cure, and then come back the next day and resin it, or a couple of hours and resin it. Personally, it's a lot easier if you just apply it on at the same time. So going back to your resin, which I've already put powder in as well, and just put an even coat of resin over that bandage as well, making sure you cover all the fibres and let that to soak in at the time. Same again, give it a minute or two to soak in, and then you can go back over with your powder roller. And when you powder roll at this stage, what you'll see is the PU will form as well inside the matting. So you're bonding the actual reinforcement matting to the lead, and you're allowing it to expand and contract as it should do. Obviously, the variations in temperature is going to be exposed to on a flat roof. The materials are going to want to move, and this allows it to expand and contract. So just powder roll the surface. Nice and easy. Now, when we're powder rolling, it should be about 3 or 4 passes. And what you're looking for is you're looking for all the fibres to disappear. You're looking to draw that resin through to get a nice continuous finish on that. So just keep powder rolling, roughly about 4 to 5 passes. And there's a few telltale signs. You can hear that squelching slightly disappear as well. So that's bonding to that point. I'm then going to go back to the pipe work. So now it's been given time to soak in. The best way to form any tricky details is by using our 2-inch brush. And I'll just get a little bit of resin on the brush, and you can see how easy now that is to shape and form. You can pull the matting to suit whatever detail you want, and by just dabbing. And what we're doing there is just dabbing. You want to dab in, press it, and bond it to the surface. That's the key of today. You want to bond to that surface, so just dab away. What we don't want to do is, I know it's like a brush, and treat it like a brush, it'll just pick the fibres up, as you can see there. So if you just brushed it, they'll just pick up. So we want to really just dab it in, press it to the surface, and then work it in around that pipe work. So we're just dabbing as we go. Once you've got it bedded on, nice and flush to that upstand with your brush, you can then tackle it with your powder roller onto that base and right into that bottom of the pipe. Just make sure you're working it in as we do before, going through 4 to 5. You can actually go up the upstand as well, and you can see the trim adhesive bond to the actual pipe and then to the resin itself as well. Just working it in until you're fully consolidated, and that will have fully cured within roughly about an hour or so. Whilst it's still wet, you can still do your laminating. Obviously, following our preparation and guidance, you'll have all your matting put to side, which I've got myself here. And then we'll then start to apply the main layer. Now, the resin is based on the 450 gram matting for 1 square metre. We base that on roughly 1.5 kilos per square metre. And that's half a kilo on the deck, and then a further 1 kilo on top of the matting. So we have a rule of thumb that we follow, and that follow is if you get a dripping roller full, and this is using the larger roller, the 6-inch roller, we'll use 3 rollerfuls of resin on the base. So that being 1, we're just going to go over the metre. So 1, roughly about 2 roller widths, length with 1 roller. Your second one, same again, 2 roller widths, and then your third one should cover that full metre on the base. Right the way along. So you've got 3 6-inch rollerfuls on that base. Your matting, which will be cut to size, and I'll start at this pipe work, this lead detail for you. So when you come to the matting on your lead, you want to make sure we stick that to the actual bandage. The bandage that we've just formed onto the lead, that's going to give us a start line for our matting. We're going to roll it out. Anywhere where you get the pipe detail, just turn it. So we're just going to turn the matting, as you can see, And what you'll find is all them loose fibres I spoke about earlier on, when it releases them fibres, will make it all bond into one when we actually put the resin on. So just apply that over your pipe and around the base. We're working in 1 metre sections as we go. So we've already put the matting on the base, which is going to soak into that OSB and give us an adequate bond to that timber substrate. Once your matting's on, 6-inch roller again, dripping roller full, and then just apply that, working just the one roller width away. So we're just going to, what we don't want to be doing is going back over whatever we use on that roller, we want to use on that run. You don't want to be taking it over. If you have any excess, so once you put it, if you do have any excess, just go back over the area that you've just done. Don't be trying to stretch it out as you go. So keep your roller full. That way then, you put the correct amount of resin down per square metre, which then results in a better finish for one, and also limits the chance of any pinholes or anything like that. So you need to make sure you put plenty of resin on, covering that 1.5 kilos of resin, which should take roughly about 6 roller fulls using your 6-inch roller. If you stick to that process, you'll guarantee that you won't have any issues with how much resin you're putting on, and just follow it around that pipe work. So once you've bedded it on, you're just going to apply a bit more resin around any dry areas. The key to the matting is you want to make sure there's no white or areas where you've not actually applied the resin to. And if there is areas, then they will cause pinholes as you've not coated it with the correct amount of resin. So make sure you fully cover that matting as you go. And to consolidate, you'll give that about a minute or two. And what you'll do is you'll probably work in bursts. So one guy will be wetting out, so he'll get 1 metre, 2 metres in front. So he'll wet that out, do his second metre. And then once it's given it time to break down, which is vital to this system, let it soak the binding, let it break, the matting down, and you can start to paddle roll. Using your larger paddle roll, and we do have extension poles, you don't have to be on your hands and knees. Get the extension pole and literally make sure you go over the area. Same as we did earlier on, just 4 or 5 passes. You can go in any direction, whatever suits yourself, as long as you cover that area, 4 to 5 passes, and you'll start to see it going transparent. You'll start to see all the fibres disappear, and you'll get a nice even finish over that surface. It's important you paddle roll. Try not to paddle roll too quick or put too much force on. Just nicely guide it along, let the tool do its job. Just follow it through, making sure you paddle roll over the entire area. Now this is the most important part, the Cure It route. So at this stage, you need to make sure you take a little bit of time with the paddle rolling. This is your main waterproof layer. Any issues then at this stage, you will need to repair, otherwise you'll end up with leaking roof, failure of that roof. So it's important you put enough resin on and you paddle roll it and consolidate it correctly. We do try and stretch on as much as you can. Once you paddle roll, if you're happy with your paddle rolling, the final stage then is your top coat. And I'm not sure that for you today at the moment, but obviously your top coat does require the hardening, and that's applied at 0.4 kilos per square metre. Once it's cured, you can just give it a light rub up with a bit of 40 grit sandpaper, clean with acetone, and then apply your top coat on that. And what other tip and advice I would give you is, especially on any lead work or any of your pipe work, just get yourself a bit of masking tape. With your masking tape, before you start to top coat, it's just apply that over that lead area where you don't want to see any top coat protruding past, and that'll give you a nice straight finish. And likewise as well on your pipe, just strap you strap it around, and then you can peel that off. You'll end up with a nice finished edge on that pipe, and obviously on that lead work as well. Everybody okay with that? I will give you the opportunity if any of you are not sure or want to ask any questions, and I will be here to answer any questions. So if you have any questions, just unmute yourself and fire away for us, please. Does that make sense for everybody?
Yeah, perfect sense.
Yeah? Are you all? you've gained a lot of information from it and it's been productive for you. But if you've got any questions, then feel free to fire them over. No, all good? Excellent,
yeah,
good. What we'll do then, obviously, stay tuned for the up-and-coming sessions. And obviously, we'll see some familiar faces again, and hopefully you can tune in. And what we would ask is if you've got any sessions you want us to go through, or any particular topics you want us to target, then email them over for us, and we'll address that for you. We'll get a session up for you. And hopefully